The Galaxy S24 Ultra may not seem like a major upgrade over the S23 Ultra, and it definitely isn't, but still, it's an improvement, and here's why it's actually better than you might think. So design-wise, it's the same design we've seen on the S23 Ultra, which was the same design from the S22 Ultra, and this is just a refinement of that design, a bit like we've seen on the iPhone side of things. Same premium frosted glass back, same quad camera setup, same S Pen hidden inside. But what has changed is that the rails are now titanium, making the phone a bit lighter at 232 grams, more durable, and just it feels more premium in the hand. They are also a satin finish, which I really like, as they won't collect as much fingerprints or scratches than the aluminium on the S23 Ultra. For finishes this year, we have 4 colours: titanium black, titanium grey, titanium violet, and titanium yellow, as well as 3 exclusive colours available exclusively on Samsung's website. That's the green, blue and orange. The speaker grille has turned into a simple slit design, ditching the holes from the S23 Ultra. But yeah, design wise there's nothing really substantial, as phones are nowadays, but I guess this is Samsung's design language and they're sticking with it. Moving to the front of the S24 Ultra, and there are some pretty notable changes. It's a 6.8 inch LTPO 1440p screen with 505 ppi. The screen is protected by Corning Gorilla Armor, which not only promises to be 4 times more scratch resistant versus the competition, but it also decreases screen glare by 75%. Using it, you can definitely see the difference when stood next to something like a window, and also compared side by side with the S23 Ultra. Brightness has also improved, going from a still impressive 1750 nits to a staggering 2600 nits peak brightness. You will have no difficulty in seeing this screen outdoors and in direct sunlight. The display is 120Hz and it can scale down to 1Hz to save battery, but the biggest visual difference is that the display is now flat, which is much more practical for using the S Pen without it falling off the screen, and easier to apply a screen protector. They've also managed to slim the borders and get rid of that slightly bigger chin at the bottom for slimmer, symmetrical bezels, which is a nice change that I appreciate. Battery life is something that hasn't changed all that much. It's the same 5000 mAh cell found in the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. This means you should get the same all-day battery life, or maybe even slightly better battery life, as this phone has the better brightness, more power-hungry features, and it still manages to be on par with the S23 Ultra. Same maximum 45W charging speeds. You'll have to buy that adapter separately to get those charging speeds, but other than that, you're getting a very identical battery experience with the S24 Ultra. Alright, cameras. Camera hardware between this phone and last year's phone is very similar. The S24 Ultra has a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and the 200 megapixel main sensor. Images are really similar to the S23 Ultra. There's slightly better dynamic range and processing on the S24 Ultra, but results are fairly constant between the two. But what has changed is the periscope lens. The S24 Ultra has a 50 megapixel 5x zoom lens compared to the 10 megapixel 10x zoom lens on the S23 Ultra. That may sound like a downgrade on paper, but the 5x lens is actually way more practical. And as this is 50 megapixels, zooming into 10x will look comparable to the S23 Ultra because it's cropping in on the middle 50% of the sensor with a higher megapixel count. Video has also seen an improvement. The S24 Ultra is capable of filming at 4K 120, which can create some high quality slow motion videos. Keep in mind it's only available in the Pro modes setting and the slow motion modes. And this is the mic test on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. As you can hear, everything is much more isolated in the background. You can only hear me. A very big difference compared to the S23 Ultra, and it's a very impressive. And let's go into the performance now. The Galaxy S24 Ultra has seen a boost in power. Inside is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip optimized for Galaxy, which is essentially just an overclocked version of the normal Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. We also have 12GB of RAM all across the board. Globally, this is the only version that is shipping with just Snapdragon, unlike the S24 and S24 Plus, which have the Exynos 2400 outside the US, China and South Korea. But this S24 Ultra can handle anything, and the 12GB of RAM makes multitasking a breeze. But where you'll find the difference is gaming. The S24 Ultra has 30% better graphics performance and a bigger vapor chamber, and also better ray tracing to improve reflections for whatever game that supports it. Now, the elephant in the room, AI. AI has been such a mainstream term over the last year. We've had chatbots like ChatGPT go viral to really accurate deepfakes. It has been so common amongst the average consumer. So much so that Samsung decided to make it the focus for this year's S24s. So here are the most impressive new AI capabilities this phone has. First is the AI photo editing. Let's say your picture isn't quite how you like it. Well, AI can fix that. You can move a subject wherever you want, expand and rotate the image, and AI will fill in the blanks, which actually works pretty well. The coolest one in the gallery though is the instant slow-mo. Simply just hold down on a video and it will slow it down right there and then without sacrificing video quality. Basically what's happening is it's adding AI generated frames, so it still looks smoother than if you just slow down the video. When on a call, you can use Live Translate to speak to someone who speaks an entirely different language. This happens entirely on device, as you have to download the language packs which are stored on the phone. You can pick between hearing the person's voice or the translation, and if you want them to hear your voice or the translation. You can create AI generated wallpapers by changing 3 key terms to create very different ones when mixing them up. Chat Assist can change the style and tone of what you want to say. You can change your message to be more formal, polite, and even Shakespearean. Samsung's browser can summarize whole web pages and put them into key points. And same goes for the Notes app. Hit the 3 stars and you can summarize anything that you wrote. My favorite is the circle to search. All you have to do is hold down the home button and it'll bring up this UI to let you know you're in the mode, and simply just circle or tap on anything and it'll search for it. It's pretty fast and accurate. Like, being able to just visually search for something instead of just typing it up is the most convenient thing that I never knew I needed. The only caveats to these AI features are A, some will be on the S23, so they won't be exclusive to this phone, and B, Samsung will not be providing them for free forever. You will have to pay for them from 2025 onwards. Out of the box, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is running One UI 6.1 based on Android 14, and this brings some new changes to the software that only the S24 line will have for now. Right away on the always on display, you can now see your wallpaper and widgets. It's like what Apple did with their version of the always on display, and the widgets look identical to the ones on the iPhone. Nearby Share and Quick Share have fused, so all Android phones will be able to share files and photos much easier. There are 3 new battery protection options to stop the battery degrading all that much. Animations are actually much smoother on One UI 6.1. Like going in and out of apps, it feels so much more fluid and seamless. And from the S24 series onwards, Samsung has promised to give 7 years of software updates, matching Google's promise and increasing the longevity of these phones. So is this phone worth buying? Is it enough to upgrade to? Well, if you have an S23 Ultra, probably not, but if the AI, better build, flat screen all really mean a lot to you, or if you're coming from an older Galaxy S21 or S20, then this is an upgrade you'll be quite content with. The only reason I think to upgrade from an S23 Ultra to an S24 Ultra were the insane pre-order deals. You are basically getting this phone for half the price, with a Galaxy Watch 6 and a storage upgrade. But yeah, S24 Ultra, refined yet defined by AI. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. See you there.